battle of the balms. One of these cost $16, the other $34. But here's what surprised me once I looked at the ingredients. This wasn't the battle I thought it was going to be. Today we're putting the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluron Tinted Balm against the It Cosmetics Do It All Face Balm. And if you're over 50, it's more than just the price between these two products. It comes down to this. Do you want glow? Or do you want blur? If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Jody. I'm 56. Think of me as your midlife beauty bestie where we are navigating the aging process together. We try to do it gracefully most days on this channel, but there are days. There are days where you're like plucking those dark hairs out of your chin or the gray hairs in your eyebrows. Or you catch a shot of yourself naked in the mirror and just think, oh, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. Yes, if that's you, then you have joined the right channel. Can you tell me about a day? All those things have happened to me today. All right, before we get into the battle of the balms and drill down into the ingredients and how these two products wear not only upon application, but of course we're gonna do an 8-hour wear test, there's a few things I think you need to know right off the bat. The L'Oreal True Match Hyaluron Tinted Balm sells for about $15 and it's 0.3 ounces. The L'Oreal Do It All Face Balm sells for $34 and is 0.63 ounces. But because the It Cosmetics jar contains more than twice the product, the cost per ounce is, well, very similar. L'Oreal is the budget-friendly upfront purchase, but ounce for ounce, they're surprisingly close in price. You're really paying for different technology. L'Oreal focuses on hydration and glow, while It Cosmetics invests more in blurring ingredients and peptides. Starting with the L'Oreal, it does come with a sponge applicator as well as a mirror compact, but the amount of product that you get is pretty minimal. I have it in shade 4 and I'm applying it with the BK Beauty 101 brush. Balms can be applied with a damp beauty sponge. You can apply them with your fingers for a really fast application. I like to go in with a little bit of a more dense brush, tap it out on the back of my hand. This does offer sheer to medium coverage, and the formula of this is all about plump and glow. Hydration is often the best anti-aging ingredient money can buy, and L'Oreal leans heavily into that philosophy with this formula. The star ingredient here is sodium hyaluronate, which is a form of hyaluronic acid. It's important to note that the only product that I have on my skin right now is sunscreen, and I have combination skin, so I'm oily in the T-zone and then I'm dry on the cheeks area. That gives you a point of comparison to see if either of these products will work with your skin type. So back to sodium hyaluronate. It's a form of hyaluronic acid. Its job is to attract the water and help your skin look more plump and full and smooth and hydrated. Now, while this is a balmy type formula, you can see the coverage is a nice even coverage. Even though they call it sheer to light, I definitely think it's more light to medium. You can see how well it covered my hyperpigmentation. Many women over 50 don't need more coverage, they need more flexibility and hydration in their products. In our 50s, makeup doesn't need to cover more, it needs to cooperate more. What I notice immediately is that my skin looks healthier, more plump, and dare I say, just a little more juicy. This formulation is not trying to blur your skin, it's trying to make your skin look happier. This formula hydrates mature skin and blends out really nicely. It reflects light, which is what gives it that beautiful glow on the high points of your face. Now, I don't want to apply a concealer with this, so I'm going to go in with a little bit more, but on my finger, because I feel like I can get a thicker application, and just go right underneath my eyes to cover up any discoloration and give a more seamless look. All right, before we jump into the It Cosmetics, we'll take a small commercial break. Not really, just a reminder to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And at the end of the video, like it if you do. I've still got a little bit of time to mess it up, so don't like it yet, because who knows what can happen from here on out. All right, the It Cosmetics Do It All Face Balm takes a very different approach in the formulation. It's basically bringing a soft focus filter to your face. I'm wearing shade 215, applying it with the same brush. You'll be able to get an idea for how well this covers by looking at that hyperpigmentation right on my cheek. Now, one of the key ingredients in this product is dimethicone, which is one of the best ingredients we have for visually softening pores and fine lines. The formula contains ingredients that help diffuse light instead of reflect light. So while the L'Oreal side is creating glow to the skin, the It Cosmetics side is working to soften texture, fine lines, and even pores. The It Cosmetics formula looks to perfect mature skin. It also contains glycerin and other products that work together to pull moisture in the skin and help maintain hydration throughout the day. Just like we did on the L'Oreal side, I'm going to add a little bit to my finger to cover up some of that discoloration under my eye instead of using a concealer. You certainly can use a concealer with both of these. I just like the idea of these being a one and done, light to medium coverage, buildable if you need it. Formula-wise, these two products are designed different to address different concerns that you may have with your more mature skin. Now, what I notice immediately on the IT Cosmetics side is that my skin looks more smooth and more refined. It doesn't have that high glow that the L'Oreal side has, but it does offer a little bit of that blurring technology, which I love. All right, so here's what the two products look like upon application. I'm not gonna set them with a powder. We're not gonna put a powder blush, a powder contour, powder bronzer, nothing. We're not gonna put anything else on to help these perform. I wanna see in their true form without any primer or setting powder, setting sprays, how do they perform so that you know what you get. And then you can layer setting powders, setting sprays, powder blushes, powder bronzer or contour if you want. All of those powder products on top of this will only help to lock in the look and make it last longer. So let's see what we get just product alone, and then anything that you add will just prolong its life for the day. You can really see the difference in the formulations here. This side is glowy and has a plump to the skin, while the IT Cosmetics Do It All formula is more of a refined, blurred look to the skin. Both offer good coverage, and let's see what they look like in 8 hours, because if you're like me, that is where the real story is. I need to make sure that my makeup is holding up and that on the dry patches it doesn't look cakey or patchy, and on the oily parts of my skin I don't want an oil slick by the end of the day. So let's hope for the best. Here is upon application, and here's what two balms look like at the end of the 8-hour mark. Really, they both held up the test of time, in my opinion. I feel like the coverage is still very much there. I don't see hyperpigmentation coming through. I do feel like the L'Oreal side, you know, it started off a little glowier in the morning, and as the day went on and at the end of the day, it is glowier. Now, I am oily, like I said, in the T-zone, so I expect my forehead to look a little shinier. I prefer a softer matte to my skin. So for me, the IT Cosmetics hands down is the winner, but that's because I like this more soft matte blurred look to my skin. It looks really nice up close, it looks nice in person, and it looks nice on camera. I mean, you guys are the only ones I need to show on camera. The rest of my day is not on camera. So foundations or balms need to look good in person in real life. They both do. I want to say that. They both do. I just personally prefer a little less glow. Some people are completely the opposite and prefer a little bit more of that glow. So the bottom line is take price out of your equation, because they are essentially the same price per ounce when you look at it that way. And I was a little disappointed, quite frankly, to see that this L'Oreal is 0.3 ounces. Now I can't get it open. That is 0.3. I mean, look how thin that is. I just feel like, yes, it's $15, and yes, if that's all the money you have to spend, then and you want a good face balm, then this is a good deal. But if you are somebody like me that prefers a good value, where I will spend a little bit more if I get more for my money, then I think this one's the better choice just from a price perspective, because per ounce, they're essentially the same. But here's the thing when it comes down to the formulas, the product itself, and how long they wear, I don't think it's a matter of good versus bad. This is a glow versus blur comparison, and that's really what it comes down to. L'Oreal leaves you with healthy looking skin, a nice soft glow. If you have oily skin, it might give you too much shine as the day goes on, and you might need to add a little bit of powder, but you could definitely work with it. The IT Cosmetics side gives me that perfect looking skin. Now for me, a blurred look is more of what I want on my skin than a healthy glow. And again, everyone's different. So if you prefer healthy glow, then L'Oreal is your better choice. Or if you're like me and you like a little bit more blur to the skin, where you don't see the pores as highlighted, the texture's a little bit more muted, but a soft matte finish, then the IT Cosmetics Do It All Face Balm is a better choice. Another way to look at it based on the formulations of these two products, this one reflects light, where this one diffuses the light. Both are doing exactly what they're designed to do. They're just solving different mature skin concerns. So let me know in the comments, would you prefer skin that looks more radiant or skin that looks more perfected? Because that's really what this face-off comes down to. Are you team glow or team blur? I can actually probably take these out while I finish this part, because Why not? If you guys like Friday Face-Offs, you're gonna wanna subscribe to the channel and be sure to hit that notification bell so when you are notified when my next Friday Face-Off is, and it's gonna be a good one. We're talking about eyeliners, and for those of us with more mature skin, we need eyeliners that don't smudge, don't transfer, and last all day and give a good color payout without looking too harsh. Now the contenders for this one, I'm really excited about because I love them both. And I don't know how they're gonna wear side by side. The first one is the Victoria Beckham eyeliner. I did put this in a Friday Face-Off a few months ago. I didn't love it, but then I went to a Victoria Beckham masterclass and the makeup artist showed me exactly how to use this, and I was using it a little bit incorrectly. Once I started using this the right way, I definitely started liking it better. But then Mature Beauty from Glam Girl Gabby launched and I am obsessed. So which one holds up better? I don't know, but we're gonna find out together in the next Friday Face-Off. And if you missed my May favorites video, I'll link that one right here because it shares with you some of my favorites for the last 2 months to help you save money and look at products that I can tell you worked for me. All right, you guys, that does it for this week's Friday Face-Off. And now's the time to decide if you like the video. Give me a like. I did earn it, right? I'll see you guys in just a couple days. Bye-bye.